Well, hi everybody, and welcome to our favorite night of the year. So I pulled out my sticker and I wrote, "I'm on a mission to build strong communities and inspire greater giving." And if you look at the mission statement of the New Hampshire Charitable Foundation, you'll see where those words come from. And thank you to Sister Paula and to all of our directors for your leadership and your stewardship. I'm delighted to welcome Pawn and Diane and Bishop Rob to our table. And I have to say that Matt, Mill, Joe, and Ross, I'm going to miss you guys more than I can say, but there's a lot of work that we're still going to do together. We have a close-knit board. Our board works hard. We develop long-lasting relationships, and it's always hard to say goodbye, but it's not a long goodbye. So I also want to introduce our incredibly talented staff, starting with the senior leadership team. Michael Wilson, stand up. Katie Marrow, Jen Perkins, and Rick Peck, and the whole foundation staff, many of whom are in the back. And when you clap, clap loud, because some of our gang is still out in the lobby welcoming guests. Thank you for the work you do. So it's what, 5:35, 5:40 on a Wednesday night, and New Hampshire's nonprofits are on a mission. In Concord, right now, volunteers at the Friendly Kitchen are serving meals to dozens and dozens of their neighbors. In Rochester, voice and guitar students are honing their skills at the new Performance Arts Center. At the Boys and Girls Club of Sauhegan Valley, and clubs all across the state, kids are playing volleyball, they're rehearsing a play, and they're doing their homework. In New London, seedlings are sprouting at Spring Ledge Farm, protected by the Osmond Sargent Land Preservation Trust. Solar panels installed by the Plymouth Area Renewable Energy Initiative are powering the lights at Whole Village Family Resource Center. Attorneys from New Hampshire Legal Assistance are helping a Berlin family at their kitchen table avoid eviction. Residents are shopping for locally grown food at the Littleton Co-op, which expanded and is adding jobs with help from the Community Loan Fund. And at Hope on Haven Hill, new moms are recovering from addiction and caring for their babies in a safe and a loving place. If I asked you to start naming more nonprofits on a mission tonight, one at a time, 830 of us, we'd be at it for a long time, because it's an ordinary Wednesday night in the Granite State, and that means thousands of nonprofit volunteers and staff are doing what they do, serving our communities, serving our neighbors and our families. Nonprofits touched my life this week, and I know that they've touched yours. And when you think about that, that is far from ordinary. It's astonishing. It's awe-inspiring. It's transformational. In a word, it's extraordinary. And that includes all of you who make up this sector, as staff, as volunteers, as board members, as donors, as partners, and many of you do all of those things. Tonight, we're going to share some stories of nonprofits on a mission to serve veterans and their families, to engage minds and to change hearts, to empower young leaders, to educate and inspire and to challenge, because that is what New Hampshire needs. And that's what this sector, this independent, nonprofit, charitable sector delivers every day, every night, every town, every city. And as extraordinary as that is, our sector brings something else that is equally profound. And here I want to call out especially the staff, the nonprofit professionals who make our organizations run against overwhelming odds. You not only do the critical work, but you hold fast to the values that make American communities great. Things like hope, integrity, justice, inclusion, truth-telling, and love. Maybe that's why Americans' trust in our nonprofit sector remains very high when faith in far too many institutions in American life today has fallen. And nonprofit leaders live those values even while struggling with really serious challenges: growing demand for services, financial insecurity, finding good staff and paying them fairly, especially in a tight job market. And all the time, swimming against much larger social and environmental and economic trends that confront their communities and their clients. But you keep going, because that's what you do, and that's because you care. You know, in the private sector, more work usually means more revenue. But the inverse is often true for nonprofits. Having more business, more people to shelter, more kids to mentor, more artists to celebrate, more patients to heal, more ecosystems to restore, doesn't mean you have more resources to keep up with that demand. The business model is really different. We did a study not long ago. We found that most of the foundation's grantees, including very large, well-known organizations, only have a couple of months' cash in reserve. And yet, you stay on mission. You make it work. You need more stability than that. As a community, we need to provide more stability than that for our nonprofits. You deserve stronger and deeper support, now probably more than ever. Now, like our grantees, the foundation itself, as a community foundation, is a 501c3 nonprofit created by and for the families and the people of New Hampshire. Nearly 2,000 of whom, as Sister Paula pointed out, have established funds here since 1962. Many of you are here with us tonight, and I thank you, because it is your passion and your generosity that drove our most productive year ever in 2017, as the foundation awarded more than $46 million in scholarships in grants across every area of public service in every community in every region. And your support is also fueling our strategic collaborations with hundreds and hundreds of partners, most of whom are here tonight. Collaborations to increase youth opportunity through our sweeping 10-year initiative, New Hampshire Tomorrow. To prevent and treat the scourge of addiction. To create more accessible pathways from school to work. To advocate for increased public investment in healthcare and early education and sensible public policy. As we do this work, your foundation always aspires to be better at it, to be a better partner and a better funder. In the last year alone, some 700 nonprofits attended grant seeker sessions and online and in person to share your ideas and to ask the really good questions of our foundation. We hold roundtables and focus groups, and we regularly survey grantees, including using anonymous third-party evaluators. Our program officers are in the community every day, and our regional boards are out doing site visits. We listen, we learn, and we try to adapt. Among many recent improvements, as we seek to serve your organization better, we upgraded our online system to streamline grant applications and reporting. We created a platform called Greater Giving to showcase your work directly with holders of funds at the foundation. We've way cut down the time it takes to apply for a grant and the time between your application and decision. And responding to the most frequent request of all, starting this fall, 100% of our community grants will be for unrestricted operations, and many of those will be multi-year. So you can spend less time writing grants, dreaming up new ideas to get funding, and more time on mission. I've worked in this sector in New Hampshire for 35 years, and I've never been more proud or inspired to be a part of this community that we all share, especially now when the nation needs most what we have to offer. Thank you. Thank you for everything you bring to the state, the community, and our sector. As always, I'm going to close with a quote from someone I admire. This year, it's my friend and colleague, Kirsten Scobie, who directs our Tillotson Funds. Nonprofits, Kirsten wrote recently, provide spirit and healing and vocation and human connection and vision and courage, basically the color and richness for people and our planet. And here's what that looks like, first in a video, then with 4 stories told from the stage. Thank you.